Well, Nick, of course, we're living in a virus-induced utopia here, government paying for everything.
Oh, it's not a utopia, Paul. Very far from it. I mean, it's a tragic situation, and normally I think most of us in this program say markets are great, but they only work in the circumstances where you can have the free flow of humans, and we just don't have that at the moment. I do want to commend the union movement, though. I think they have responded in a very mature way to this crisis. I think they've been strong, which is absolutely what you want from the union leaders in this country, but they've also made some good compromises there. I also think that the government does need to continue to refine that JobKeeper allowance. I mean, I think, and look at the job seeker allowance as well. I do think it should be extended to cover the 1 million or so casuals that currently don't qualify. I also think, and some people think it's controversial, but I do think that it should be extended to cover migrant workers and international students as well. I know there's this notion in Australia that we should only look after our own, and you only get looked after if you're a citizen of Australia. But there's a lot of people who call Australia home, and I think in these times we should look after them as well. And so that includes the international students and the migrant workers.
Bronwyn, how do you feel about that suggestion?
Look, I feel that we're being sufficiently generous as it is. The hard part is going to be to turn the tap off. I know there's a sunset clause in the legislation, but when people get used to getting something for nothing, it's very hard to take it back. So what I think we've got to determine is that we cannot go back to our old ways. When people say we want to start the economy going again, it can't be as it was. We really have to look at some principles of free enterprise. We really have to look at things that we have to do. We really have to do things like rebuild our manufacturing sector. And that means training people in TAFE to be able to take up those jobs. We really do have to get out of the Paris Agreement. We do really have to get rid of those subs. There are many things that we have to change so that we are no longer dependent on China for slave labour to give us cheap goods. Agreed. Because that's what we've been prepared to do over the last decade and more. It's our own fault. We've allowed it to happen. And we have to be resolved, and our government has to be resolved, that we will not go back into our old ways, that we will be able to have enough beds and enough ventilators and a health system that can cope if the Chinese let another virus slip and again put the free world on its knees. We have had a warning, it's a wake-up call, and we have to change our ways. And the sooner we do it, the better. So I'm very pleased to hear that South Australia is talking about starting to ease back into production. I was very pleased to get a message on my email today telling me about a particular chain of stores that has giftware and scarves and candles and that sort of thing, has reopened their business, particularly ones that are near where supermarkets are, and people may pick up their supermarket goods and then perhaps buy a $30 candle because it'll make them feel good. So we've got to see people have their initiative rewarded and not slip back into the old ways.